give a formal introduction of themselves and also why is it that they are here. Alright? And then after that we will ask the first, as you can see, it is being recorded. So after the head table we will ask everyone to give a brief introduction and tell which part of Hermitage you are from, and also in regards to the wider community. Alright? So we will start at the head table here.
Alright, pleasant evening everyone. My humblest apologies for attending late. My name is Rachel Allen. I am Community Development Officer. I'm working on behalf of the Social Development Commission in the communities of Augusttown, Hermitage, Bedwood Garden, Goldsmith Villa, and surrounding environs. My mandate has always been similar to the mandate of the Commission, which is to build better communities. I'm here in my capacity as a Community Development Officer to help to capacitate the different groups, to get them cohesive and working together to achieve their own governance, to participate in the overall governance of their community and the development activities within the community. So that's me.
Mr. McCall.
All right. Good evening, everyone. Master of Ceremonies, Mr. Maurice Mason. Our Councillor, Mr. Darrington Ferguson, Ms. Rachel Allen, SDC Community Rep, Mr. Andre Wilson, USAID, Mr. Wilson, Mr. Francis, Peace Builders, citizens of Hermitage, pleasant afternoon to you all. H.R.S. also SDC representative, but not for this community. But I'm still going to highlight you as a SDC representative. Alright, so the reason why I'm here this afternoon, being the president of the CDC. The CDC is the umbrella organization for the 5 communities, and we work as a conduit to development within the 5 different communities. And I must start by commending the citizens of Hermitage for your active engagement in developing your community. Give yourself a round of applause for that. Yes, and I am here to support the development of the 5 communities across Augusttown as our Kingston 7, if that's more pleasant, because growing up in Hermitage, we grew through a period where there were violence, and we believe that you can't create a fortress in Hermitage and get total safety and security. There must be development around the community of Hermitage for us to have safety and security and development for our children and our citizens, alright? And I play my role as a CDC chairman. I must also say that we support Hermitage in standing up for your community and what you believe in, but also want to indicate that as leaders of the community, this model that is in existence, it has its advantages and its disadvantages. What I want to implore you all on is to ensure that we capitalize on the advantages that are presented to us, because as a community safety and security officer that works island-wide, I work in a number of communities across Jamaica, and I can tell you that the amount of resources that are pumped into this community, a lot of communities out there does not have that opportunity. When there are scholarships being offered at UWI, we want to ensure that the persons who are enrolled at UWI benefits from these scholarships. When there are entrepreneurship grants by Jamaica Social Investment Fund, want to know that Hermitage citizens benefit from these opportunities. The myriad of our other opportunities that are presented due to the fact that we are associated with the name Augustown are numerous, and I believe that we should not just focus on being isolated and not capitalizing on the opportunities. As the CDC chairman, when I observe the amount of opportunities that are offered, I believe that Hermitage have the lowest uptake of these opportunities. African Gardens want a me entrepreneurship grant, we get 100 names. Scholarship, we get 20 names. The different communities, they are taking these opportunities, and I just want to implore Hermitage, in your quest of community development, do not leave the opportunities that are available and the persons do not capitalize on these opportunities. Alright? But finally, there was a entrepreneurship training at UWI and CCOD, Center for Community Outreach and Development. They opened up the thing from just Augustown community. And they have persons from St. Thomas, Portmore, Linston, who relish the opportunity to be a part of a program like this. What I'm saying, persons, we have a lot of opportunities, and I would just like to see Hermitage is where I grew up. I would just like to see we capitalize more on the opportunities that are available. As I said to Maurice yesterday, I still don't see no project proposal with a community center, a skills training development center. I still don't see no grant or right through the CDC who equip Better Gardens to write their own community center project right now. And CDC is the conduit that government organization will put money into to ensure that these projects are implemented. We have the opportunity at this time. I'm just imploring us, let us utilize the opportunity to the best of our ability. Thank you very much.
Mr. Ferguson.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. And after such expunge, I must commend your CDC president. I don't believe he left anything for me, but nevertheless, as the political directorate, I want to say that, first of all, I want to thank the Hermitage Community Citizens Association to invite me, first of all, and I also want to say to the residents of Hermitage, thanks for the support that you have given me so far over the last 4 months, and I know I will continue to look forward to working with you, but with all protocol observed, of course, and I want to reach out to USA, that it is good once again that, you know, as a community, Augustown is at the forefront of another program, and as your CDC president just said a while ago, you want us to make sure that all the opportunities that is presented, we grab it with both hands, and the participation and the involvement must be for the benefit of the citizens and the development of both Hermitage in extension Augustown. But as I am here, I want to say to the SDC officer that just 2 weeks ago, we had a mandate at the KSA-MC about the development and partnership that the SDC and local government must play in the development of the communities. And I'm happy that, you know, when I was growing up in Hermitage was considered the creme de la creme. Yeah. You know, I remember Anglian Place was the place to be in Hermitage, and therefore, you know, I enjoy the luxury of those things. You know, and therefore, I am no stranger to the turf of Hermitage. I spend more time in Hermitage here in my youthful days than what I used to spend in Augustown. And therefore, you know, it tells you that great people come from anywhere. and if we continue to support our youths and to make sure that they participate. Earlier, I was listening to the program, the director for Positive Pathway, and I can tell you from now, maybe it is difficult in Hermitage to find many of those participants, because if you are going to single out them, then many youths in Hermitage have a lot of advantage. They just might last their way temporarily until the reality chips in. Then you might say, because the family background, but whatever we do, it is the family is very, very important. And therefore, that is where the community start to build from. All right, so I am proposing that don't just look at the youth, look at the family, and you'll get a better base, a better understanding how exactly to resource, because all it takes is just one positive change to change 100 youths. All right, and I want you to look at it. Positive Pathway is all about family. And therefore, while we look at the individual youths, we want us to look at the family as a whole, because we are not going to invest in people that the minute they leave out of our environment and back at home again, and they are back to their old self. So we need to look at that clearly. Another thing that I want to say to the citizens of Hermitage is that no matter what it is in local government, we are here to serve the community. And it doesn't matter to me the hours of the night, the time of day. Once my phone rings, then I will respond. That is what service is about. My ambition was always to serve, and therefore I enjoy serving people. And therefore you can rest assured that you have one that will be ready to take on defend your community assets. I hope that the STC is ready to deliver what are the Hermitage community assets thereof, and look at it how best we can work together to have those spaces energized once again and ready. Hermitage shouldn't be baffling and thinking about where your community center is. I enjoy what we used to call around Blue Road. Come on. All right, because that is where I kept my first match. All right, when time Bugsy and Perky was the big keeper then. So you have to get around there, and Anglian players want their own team, and Warner players have the Jefferson here and the big ball of them, and we didn't want our own team, so we get beaten, but we don't want our own team. So and it was good then. Augustone Corner League, I remember, was one of the big corner league, Kingston 20 and Augustone, and there's all national players from across Jamaica used to come same place to University Bowl to play. Alright, Mr. Wilson at the time was one of the goalkeeper. Before he became a great organizer, he was a goalkeeper. Really? Yeah man, Snake. Alright? Yeah man, I remember one of the game, you realize it. My one of my time, he get down the ball pass, and he said, no, my God. That was it. But we had good times and we had great times. We look at the Augustone community, and I hear the cry of the 5 communities, and I'm one who believes we are stronger together. All right, because once you can speak with one voice, then you're going to be a strength to reckon with. And therefore, I want the leaders to think carefully as we tread along the way, because we don't want to leave any community behind. Every single community must have the opportunity to grow and to come forward. And it must not be said that we left anyone behind. It must be said that they did not take the opportunity that we presented to them. And therefore, with that said, I can tell you that we have a great future ahead of us. We don't want to just look at it as a community. When people talk about Augustone, they talk about the negatives. They are great people, come from Augustone. When I drove down the Augustone road and I looked to the left and looked at the mirror, it reminds me of some of the great people. There are still many more that we still, will be bringing forward, because I can tell you about some great people that, came from. Just this week I was in a meeting with Jamaica Heritage, and Mr. Wilson, I want to say that we need to look at Bedford and the churchyard as our tourist site, heritage site. We want to know how long, because it was in 1880, remind me more, 18 something Bedford tried to fly. All right, and therefore, internationally, but that churchyard is more than 100. It's supposed to be more than 100 years. It is more than 100 years, and once a site is over 100 years, then now it becomes an heritage site, and therefore we want to twin that with our tourist enhancement to make the product in Augustown. We're not looking at what Sizzler doing and how he transformed the riverbed. It is wonderful. All right, and therefore, I don't even reach down a Bedford yet, because I believe that Bedford Gardens is doing wonderful work. All right, it's a pity the river divides us politically, but as a community, I have always said this is every meeting that I go, that politics doesn't divide people. All right, especially when the people are great and have similar mind and kind, and therefore we must work diligently to make sure that all the 5 communities develop. The youths, we're in the backyard of the greatest university in the Caribbean, and therefore all advantage must be taken. I can tell you this, as much as I am from Augustown, I used to give the people the head of university. All right, because my ambition was always to complete a course at the university, and I never stopped. All right, and therefore, I said to everyone, don't ever drop the ball. Don't believe that the opportunity is not good enough for you. You're good enough for it, and make sure that whatever is presented, we take it with both hands. Thank you.
Mr. Wilson.
So the name is Kenneth Wilson, lived in the Augustown community, wear many hats.
Good evening all protocol executives, namely the best member living in Hermitage for the past 54 years, mother, wife, grandmother, leader, and community activist. Thank you.
We be that media house here, stationed here in Hermitage, filmmaker, producer, artist, you name it, we do it. Here just to help out with what I can, when I can. All right?
Good night again, everybody. My name is H.R.S.Productions, born and bred in Hermitage. I'm a member of the Citizen Association and a strong community activist.
Good night. Good night. My name is Simon Francis, who was born and grew in Augustown. A member of the No Partial Youth Club, a member of the Peace Builder, and a member of the Positive Pathway Group, right? Well, I always doing community work, and always wishing the best for Augustown, wishing that we can all unite together and build Augustown. But what am I say, where I always say, which the chairman from the CDC can tell about me, I always saying that all these years we are doing this community work, I don't really say positive things to me. Where I'm like, I don't see a proper community center. And as Pine said before, a training center where with its violence, crime and violence in Augustown, I think Augustown should have a training center where the youths them can reach out to the community center and try to learn something. That is my opinion.
Good night, my name is Christina Williams-Clayton and I'm from Hermitage, and all I have to say is I just want to see the best for my community. That's it.
Don't video me. Hi, good evening everyone. My name is Clayton Box. From the community of Peyton Place. Just here representing Peyton Place. Over the years, I don't think we have been included in a lot of stuff. I heard the SDC person speak of a lot of programs. We have never heard of those type of things, to be honest with you. So I'm just here representing Peyton Place this time around, and I want to thank Marisa for inviting me.
Good night, everyone. I'm Mr. Dunchi from Peyton Place. but I really don't know much about what is really going on. I only get a call, you know. So I'm here to just hear the views of the people and what is going on. So that's it.
Good night, everyone. I'm John Hall from Peyton Place also. A lot of these things that I'm hearing tonight is new to me, so I'm just here representing for Peyton Place.
Yeah, good night. I'm from Peyton Place, named Harton, Hubert Harton. I'm just listening what's taking place tonight.
I'm Mr. Clark from Peyton Place.
She want to go on camera?
Yeah, yes.
No, please.
Well, I am Mr. Mason, Maurice Mason, PRO for the Citizen Association since 1990, under the tutelage of Mr. Dean Roden, also executive member of the CDC. Alright? And we're here today to discuss Hermitage business. Alright, now as it relates to the community of Hermitage, our history go back to the estate back in the early 1800s, 1832. There was an archive down by the National Archives that showed that the Hermitage estate ran from just up by Karachi all the way down Long Mountain. At this side of Long Mountain was the Hermitage estate back to the Kingston and St. Andrew border. Alright? There are four main estates up this side. You have the Papine estate, you have the Hope estate, the Hermitage estate, and the Mona estate, and that is how Hermitage got its name, from that estate. Alright? Now, what has happened over the years is that SDC, and don't knock, but SDC has erroneously remove community status from Hermitage without consulting the citizens of Hermitage on the matter. And what that has done is to, one, as it's put it in this case here, as it said with any territory, it's basically removing, the outcome there is that it is removing Hermitage from the map. It has been removed from the Google map, and as such it is affecting our development. Also, as it relates to the Hermitage development plan, which was established in 1951, it showed clear categories of communities, in the sense that the demarcation between Augustown and Hermitage was always there. Augustown was always a sister community for Hermitage. Up till 20, from independence up to 2010, 2011, SDC two communities up this side, Hermitage and Augustown, and the SDC profile that was used in the 2010 census report, having Hermitage running from Peyton Place to Bryce Hill at the, what you call that, down Bryce Hill Road, down Grist Close, all the way over to Goldsmithville and back to the Kingston and St. Andrew border. In 2012, they changed it, and we started to get on our mails that Hermitage is no longer in existence. We start to get things about Beaumont Road, Augustown. The previous SDC officer, Mr. Thompson, made his soul rest in peace. When we asked him about it, we were told categorically that it is not a name-changing exercise, but it was a zoning thing that SDC was doing so as to categorize places that have similar problems so that SDC can more efficiently manage the zone. It just so happened to turn out that when we get from SDCs that in 2012, they did verification exercise and they came to the conclusion that Hermitage is no more, but it is really Augustown. When we investigate further based upon that which was given to us by SDC, the consultations were done, but it did not include members from the community. And as such, SDC formed an opinion that is not reflective of that of the community of Hermitage, all right? Now, when you look at the reality that we face, yes, there is development that is happening. There are opportunities on the table. But one of the things that is happening is that we are losing our greatest asset, and that is our identity. All right? And as it is, if we continue along this trajectory, you find that Hermitage will no longer exist as it is. All right? It reached the point now where even JCIF intervention into the community, it's almost like it's blasphemous to recognize Hermitage as even being in existence. Now, our land title, which runs from 1951, is the oldest set of land titles issued in this area, Kingston 7. Alright? And it states Hermitage. Alright? The land titles in Augustown were all issued subsequent to 1951. And they all mark Augustown, showing that the planners at the time recognized the existence of two different communities, but two communities that share a contiguous border. Alright? Now, one of the things you find happening that is happening over the years is that we are opposed to working with Augustown. But the condition under which we should work with Augustown cannot be that we give up our identity. Alright? And as we have members here from the community right across, we all acknowledge that we live in Hermitage and not Augustown. Alright? This meeting is being videotaped. Why? Because the last time the SDC said that they consulted with Hermitage, there's no video proof, but that which is provided showed that the persons that they consult is not from Hermitage. So therefore, that conclusion that SDC has now formed is not one that is consistent with the reality. Alright? We have our own bus route. We have the 66 bus which serve Hermitage directly. Alright? We have our green space. We have our recreational area. Alright? We also have, as it relates to social relationship, we have that closely bond set of persons because we don't identify it as being coming from Augustown. Alright? Me and my neighbor live good, but my neighbor dare not come across my boundary. Alright? And that is how it is. We respect the boundaries. And we cannot go along with a development process that fail to capture the fact that there is in existence two communities, and it is having deleterious effects on the citizens of Hermitage in serious ways. It presents opportunities, but it also presents shackles, and in my humble opinion, tend to cost us more. Alright? We won't go into the politics of it, but at the end of the day, what is of importance here is that we acknowledge that we are from Hermitage. Why is that so? We should do so. When you look at it, that the community exists. We have our own business district. The lot from Miss Dixon come all the way up is the business lots, the commercial lots. The lots from Miss Powell up to Peyton Place, those are the commercial lots. Alright? We were designed to have our own daycare center. We are around the creek, and you move from transition from there to Play and Learn to Oak Valley. That was the design of the community. Alright? When you look at the other defining attributes, organizational interactions. We have a citizen association that run back to the 1970s, long before my time. I am involved in community work from I was like 8 or 9 years old. The first task that we took on was the dome, the university dome. I don't, well, you wouldn't remember, but at the time there was a lot of smoke. And we, not you, behind you, not you, alright? So what you find happening is that we as a cohesive group was always in existence, and we acknowledge that. However, one of the things that is coming out, even when you look at the SDC 1965 Act, and Ms. Allen pointed to it, the need to get disaggregated data, detailed data. The trajectory that SDC is pushing us on is one that masks our problem. If you notice, as our councillor rightly pointed out earlier, to find the youngsters in the community that would qualify for Mr. Wilson's program would be somewhat different of a situation than in our neighboring communities because of the strong family settings in most cases. So therefore, if you were to take the Augustown banner as an intervention process, then the outcome that you will get is that most persons will not be coming from Hermitage given the context. Why is that so? The intervention is not nuanced to the reality on the ground, hence the issue that Hermitage face. The solution and the intervention is not reflective of our reality, but that of other communities. Prime example, if we were to submit a proposal for a community center, and on the same lot come up, Bedford Garden versus Hermitage, on any yardstick of measurement, Bedford Garden would come out ahead. Why? They needed more. Alright? We already have one. What we will be talking about, refurbishing. What they will be talking about, greenfield investment. They need a community center, they don't have one. So therefore, one of the things that you find happening from Hermitage perspective is that we are talking about the development of Hermitage, while also acknowledge that there are other communities who face similar problems, and as such we must go to the same funders to ask for money, but at the same time we have to be cognizant that our issues is not exactly the same as theirs. Now the problem now that come forward, one of the outcomes there is that, as Mr. Ferguson pointed out, the number of university students that are around, call a spade a spade. 3,000 homes in Kingston 7. Alright? At 5 million, you're looking at $15 billion in value. If we are to access 10 or 20% of that in loan, we're looking at $3 billion. Now, $3 billion can transform this place overnight. Call a spade, alright? Whereas when you listen and you go around the country and you ask about it, it's a urge, we talk about Augustown, what pops up, crime and violence. Is that the way to build Augustown? Is that the narrative that we want to push in Augustown? Call an expert. How much gunmen we know living at the place? Less than 100. What is the population of Kingston 7? 33,000 people. Alright? How can, yes, the impact is great, but what is happening is that the action of 100 is being used. We are identified not only by our, as they would say, persons based upon their dress code. Alright? When you live around here long enough, you know it. Cool? Now what you find happening is that the issues in Hermitage are being masked. We have a citizen association that goes back to the 1970s. And as we talk to Mr. Clark, the one-armed man, he will tell you that the citizen association goes back to the 1960s. Alright, especially when they rest in peace, but we had a conversation with them and that pushed it further. So therefore, as an organized group, Hermitage was always separate. This outcome that is now happening, we were never consulted. Never. Alright? And then now we are being told that, and this is one of the outcomes that they now have with the misinformation. Cool? As we went to a JSIF meeting once, one of the technocrats at JSIF stated, if you are not a part of Augustown, how are you going to benefit? And I am saying, imagine that. The Zozo was defined for a particular spatial zone. They got the name wrong. So because they got the name wrong and we want to correct them, we are going to be punished. We are poor, but we stand with the pride of Hermitage. Alright? And that is the background to which we are here tonight. And we just want everyone to declare tonight on camera, I am asking you to express your opinion on the matter of Hermitage in Augustown. So we start with Ms. Henry.
I do declare that Hermitage remain as is.
First thing first, London, right? And my title, I with Hermitage on my title, right? I'm also a businessman. So I rent apartment, studio flats to students. Whenever somebody called me, I would say half Hermitage Road or half Mona Road, and they would be okay with that. At times, person would say, oh, but that is down in Augustown. So right away, once I said that, they start painting a picture that they might not come. And I have to say, no, it's not Augustown. So for me to clarify that up here become under one umbrella as Augustown, you're talking about the area of Hermitage possibly start using income and the mapping of how person would now view up here as Augustown, to me, is not like, no, it can't be possible. All my life, as this girl said, I am born and raised in Payton Place. That's what I know of Hermitage Road. They just, a matter of fact, just going back and thinking is like, when I was growing up, right? Payton Place is just like a residential area to me. Everybody wants to come and Payton Place. Right? And now from what it as Augustown, it now have to devalue the whole of it. I personally think even my land value have to devalue now. If you want to call up there, so Augustown. So for me, I am declaring that it remains as is. Just, and also, I was doing a little bit of research. I don't know under what circumstances why they would want to separate it, because Hermitage itself also has a rich history, right? Also, what I realized too, when I'm giving like direction, I would say in front of you would have like, and person would be okay with that. So now what I'm going to say, Augustown, no. So I'm declaring that no, Hermitage remains as is because of certain, yes, we might lose certain benefit as you said, clarifying the area as Augustown, yes, we would get certain benefit, but is that substantial enough to change it, in my opinion? Alright, so that's my take on it.
I don't see why it should have really come under one umbrella. I don't feel it should have come under one umbrella with Augustown and Hermitage. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
It's totally two different things. Augustown is Augustown. Hermitage is Hermitage. I born and grew in Augustown. I leave Augustown when I was 20 years old and came to Payton Place. Now, next week, I'm 75-year-old, right? We don't want it to change. We want it to just stay just like that. You understand? So that's the way I see it.
Yes, I know Hermitage as where I live for years. I don't want to live in Augustown. I live in Hermitage, and that's my takeaway.
I also born and grew in Payton Place, which my address is always off Hermitage Road. So, and I always known as Augustown being down in the hills, so I would like to be declared that Hermitage remain the same.
Mr. Johnson?
Yes, I declare that Hermitage remain Hermitage. Definitely.
Right, so of course I'm the pastor for the Escarpment Road Church, and I've been in the area now 4 years, and I've come into the community learning that this is Hermitage, and I support the people of Hermitage, that Hermitage remains Hermitage.
Yeah, I support the idea that Hermitage is separate from Augustown.
Yes, my mother is from Hermitage, my father is from Augustown. All my life, Hermitage has been a distinct, different community from Augustown. In fact, my family house on Bimmer Old, they are one of the third family here. My grandfather's house at the corner of Bailey Road is where person who purchased their house, bought the house in 1951, used to go and pay the money for the house. And I know I've grown all my 45 years here. Hermitage is a different and separate community from Augustown.
I've been in the community for over 45 years now. Born at University Hospital, later moved to the Hermitage on Blue Road. Grew up, raised my child there. Hermitage is the place to be, not Augustown. I declare that Hermitage be Hermitage, no other way. Hermitage can't change. Hermitage will always be Hermitage.
Well, the only thing I can say, and I born and grown in Augustown, and I know them call up this side of Hermitage, because I have an auntie who live in Hermitage, you know. So that is why I really know as Hermitage and call it, you know. So it named Hermitage.
When was the first time you heard that Hermitage was called Augustown?
Well, I hear Maurice was saying something like that on the CDC chat, you know. But I wonder if the SDC, like I said, to them such a little small corner, just drop them in Augustown. But I know it's Hermitage. I know it's Hermitage still.
The word Hermitage means a place by itself. End of story.
So we're a hermit.
End of story.
Thank you. I do declare that Hermitage is separate and apart from Augustown. And I really wish that this meeting really reaps some benefits where that is concerned, because our property here has been devalued by that name Augustown. And our whole character has been, devalued in some ways by being called Augustown. Even by policing, right? It has been. So I declare Hermitage stay as an independent community and not be called Augustown. Salute.
Good evening everyone. My name is Dean Road, former president of the Hermitage Citizens Association and scout leader for the Hermitage Citizens Association. I still have my property at 45 Beaumont Road, Kingston 7 Hermitage. And we have been living there from 1964. 1964, before Goldsmith Villa was built, before all of these communities were built. And Hermitage, is a separate community from Augustown. And over the years growing up, I really have been, because there's two Hermitage, one up by Constant Spring and one up in some. Most time people say, yeah, man, Hermitage up by Augustown, but it's a joint community. They are separate community. And presently, my active role, even with the CDC, I represent Hermitage as a contribution to the CDC as an independent community. But I said 5 communities, so and Hermitage is one of the only community that have a strong diaspora. 50% of the people that pay tax, because I pay tax on my house, I'm still paying tax at 45 Newport Road. They're living in the state. They pay their tax and they see Hermitage as a separate community. So most of the people that decision is making concerning the community, these are people who have been paying tax for their property in Hermitage, and they do have a say.
As I said, you know, they're all adjoining communities, so I just want to let that be clear. And I'm here to support all 5 communities in the development of your independence.
Alright, now, people, with that said, the next part of our development process, and as well, we must apologize for the chairman. He has an exam to prepare for. And now, as it relates to the development of Hermitage and the way forward, the future for Hermitage, as the councillor has pointed out and the CDC chairman, there's a lot of opportunities that are on the table that Hermitage is not participating in. All right? We have some burning issues that we need to get out of the way. And as Mr. McAlpin pointed out, Bedford Garden is developing a proposal for their community center. Now, again, look at where we are. We are here at Escarpment Road Church. I must say thanks to Rev. Alright? When I approached Rev for access to the facility, without hesitation, access was granted. Alright, I must tell you many respect and thanks for that. Yeah? However, the next burning issue where that is concerned is that we need to take back our community center. Alright? We need to take control of our community and make sure that the kids now have the same access to the resources that we had access to as a child growing up. The community center is one such, the park is one such, alright? However, before we can get that done, we need to organize more, alright? We have always been in existence since the 1970s, been through many different stages of registration and forms of registration, alright? Our bank account go back to the 1980s, alright? And our treasurer, Miss Wilson, may the Lord rest our soul, alright? But it come a time now where Peyton Place, Manley Avenue, Silvera Drive need to come on board, alright? And we need to push forward for our development. Reality, that which we face is an outcome of our passive interaction. We sit back and allow others to talk on our behalf. Alright? And as the chairman rightly pointed out, the Bedford Garden is developing a proposal for their community center. What is it that we are proposing? So where those things are concerned, we need it. Now, one of the things that we need from the citizenry, especially Peyton Place and Princess Alice, we are in this together. Our land title says Hermitage. Alright? The boundaries of Hermitage is clearly demarcated on the national land titles. Alright, the NLA. So there is no question as to whether or not Hermitage exists. The question is whether or not the citizens of Hermitage is going to get up and stand up for Hermitage. Alright? Now, what is it that I expect and we expect from each other? Increased communication. The Hermitage chat group, we need more members involved. Rev, no disrespect, but whether Labour Right or PNP is one Hermitage. And when what we are about to lose is Hermitage, not the politics. Alright? And as such, as Mr. Ferguson is here, Alright? We may not share the same political views, but if it's one thing Mr. Ferguson put forward on the table from day one, is that he support the upgrading of Hermitage to community status. Alright? And as such, we as citizens must facilitate Mr. Ferguson in justifying to Mr. Ferguson that we exist. And we can only justify that we exist if we start to participate in community activities. Now we have WhatsApp, we need all hands on deck. Alright? And Mr. Ferguson, I'll put you on the spot, but you know I've been asked. The letter to SDC or esteemed SDC officer. Alright? And we tell you people that is the next thing. As Mr. Wilson pointed out, they don't want to be going all over, they want to stay in our cluster. No, Miss Allen, don't judge me, not putting her on the spot. But she is one of the most dedicated community development officer you can ever think of. Alright? And one of the things we need is to claim Miss Allen for ourselves. How are we going to do that? We need to form our CDC. Alright? We need to encourage Goldsmith Villa to form them CDC. And we need to encourage Bedford Garden to form them CDC. And then clamor to SDC to grant a development area council of this side. Alright? Because we have 5 CDC, 5 communities. It can happen. The process as it is now is that you send a member of the CDC onto the Papine Development Area Council. Pardon my language, but that is a docile area development council. And this is why I'm saying there is the Papine Development Plan that was put to order, where they propose to upgrade the bedroom density to 400 per hectare. That is like 5 and 6 story building. Alright? Now, it includes more than as far as, we call a place there, Ligany, that around Wellington Drive there, sir. And it go as far as Ellison Flats, but not down this side. Alright, so we are on our own. If you think Augustown is the problem, that is not the problem. The problem is that we are underrepresented at the table. And that is the Parish Development Council. Alright? So the only way we can change this is unless we do organize around our own development. Alright? And I'm imploring every one of you, we need to start now. Alright? The first order of business, everybody have SDC email. There's a lady, the director for research, named Miss Reed. She needs to get at least 50 emails by Friday. Alright? If she don't get it, and she keep on only getting it from me, here so me are the zealous madman up this side. You follow me? But the reality and the situation is this. Persons are not living up to their civic responsibility in Hermitage. Alright? And we need that now, not later, because the outcome of this Augustown thing not only is the removal of Hermitage in the making of the map. That piece of road where them call Hermitage Road shall be removed. If there is no community called Hermitage, how can you justify that road remaining? That is next to be removed. Alright? The biggest shocker in all of this is when we put up our sign mark Hermitage. What it did, it established our boundaries, that we acknowledge our space. Alright? So therefore, when you tell the kids to write their address, 105 Beaumont Road, Hermitage, Kingston 7, until we start to build the civic pride again, then that which happened will happen again. Everybody, I implore you, go on WhatsApp, try send a location and tell me if you can get Hermitage on it. It's no longer there. Augustown pop up. What is the, how it happened? They have what they call a Google influencer, a GIS expert, who maliciously and intentionally provided false information to Google to have them change the polygon. It's not like them remove the polygon and put in a new polygon. All they did was to move the name from the polygon for Hermitage and just superimpose Augustown on it. And by so doing, it impacted the Google Map services in terms of the location, in terms of the GPS service. What is the outcome of this? If you should call a taxi, it carry them way off. Alright? You call on time from my yard, it carry go down at the bottom of Beaumont Road. You call the fire truck, it send them down Augustown. Remember the incident with Dougie Shop? The fire truck went that way first. So emergency responders cannot approach us. That is the outcome. Another outcome that we face is that when the utility companies come, JPS, NW, we call them the internet persons, they can't find the homes. Alright? As I said, the student business, I am in it. And every year you get the, not every year, every other month you get it. Where is this? Hermitage. Them do them investigation on Google Map, Augustown come up, oh, we no longer want it. I would tell people, the next best thing for you to do now is to put down 2 room, rent it out. Alright? No, don't judge me. But we love our SDC officer. Alright? Our issue is bigger than fair pay grade, no disrespect. See? But the reality is this. If we could get $1 for our homes, we are now getting 30 cents. And that is the hardcore reality. Alright? So when they put and say we are getting development, but at what cost? You can be offering us $2 but taking away 100. It is holding back the community. Alright? And this is why we need the community to organize. Alright? Now, as it relates to getting late, but let us go on to the next order of business here as it relates to the community. But you're in the hot seat. Now watch this. The letter for Hermitage.
I was coming to that. I wanted you to wrap up the address.
Alright, one more thing. Alright, one more thing. By Payton Place. Remember the gully discussion down the bottom there? The gully stopped by Princess Alice right here. It needs to go up because...
You need to go all up to the overflow.
Yeah. Oh wait, no, that is true, but in terms of the budget, no, that's not what budget. We start this side and go up, alright?
I will speak to that.
Alright, so Payton Place need urgent attention. There's also a need for the back of Beaumont Road.
And 9/11. Next week?
Yeah, in terms of the land slippage.
Exactly. We need to look at the infrastructure.
Alright.
I will speak to that
Alright, your time now, Mr. Ferguson, where those two are concerned.
Thank you very much. 3 things. One, as your chairman has stated before, I'm in full support of Hermitage being a community. And as I said, I enjoyed the luxury when I was growing up then. But there are some things that you must do because we all have responsibilities. And therefore, every single citizen and owner in Hermitage must sign that declaration. While you might send your emails and get in there, but you might end up having a legal, and therefore all documentation must be presented. So you know what to do, Maurice. Every single citizen must sign that. Sign, a declaration. All right? And you can have spot meetings, larger meetings, or whatsoever. And we must be there because the minutes of those meetings must now form your legal agenda. If you have to get there, because as the chairman said, I don't know. Someone maybe remove it for whatsoever reason. The discussion never had, the meetings never kept, and therefore it is called for concern. So we must do the right thing and get it done. Do you agree, Maurice?
Yes, sir.
Good. And therefore, I'm not of a legal mind, so I can't speak to the legality of it. But we must start at a base where the citizens, the voice of the people, must be listened to. And therefore, we must always understand that the more the louder the people, the louder the cry.
Before you move on, just stick up it. One of the things though, Mr. Fergus, is that based upon my research, alright, my simple research, is that based upon the criteria used by SDC to take away community status from us, that same criteria can be used to put it back.
That's correct.
And that criteria is meetings like these.
Yes, correct.
Where persons are affirming their independence.
Right. But prepare a declaration.
Yeah, we know that. Alright? Actually, I have a person drafting that.
Right, and the telephone numbers.
Yeah, man.
And so the survey can be done. And confirmed.
Blow that $100,000 a day. We know that right now. We should be. But now watch.
No, you don't have to wait and do that to do that.
No, man.
You can do it.
Yeah, but you're here saying me.
No.
No, wait.
Executive.
We know, but what we don't want, we want to validate this thing. Alright? But wait, before you go on. But one of the most important things that is needed now is a letter from you and Miss Williams to the executive director of the SDC, stating that you fully stand with the citizens of Hermitage and accept the community, the boundaries that is called Hermitage, as that representing the community of Hermitage. That letter from you and Miss Williams will set the stage now for us to bring in the signatures.
All right.
That is the legal advice I was giving.
Well, as I said, I'm not of a legal mind. So therefore, I will.
So that letter is important. There's no going around.
As I said, I'm not of a legal mind, but I ask the cart before the ask, because to act in principle, we need I understand everyone here, but I also want to know that the 50 houses that is on Bloomont Road is represented. I want to know that the 36 houses that goes around on Crescent and Bailey Road is with it. I want to know that the 8 houses that is on Hanging Place is with it. I still want to cover things. Another Hanging Place. All right. So therefore, I want to make sure that when I speak with the voice of the people and the action of the people. So I hear you, but I will ask my legal counsel at the case MC, now that I attend this meeting, I will bring it to her. And if she give me the advice, that's okay, go ahead. But what I would be comfortable with is the meetings and the citizens. So when I speak, I know I speak on behalf of the residents of Hermitage.
I will get that.
All right, that's what I want. All right, no, that is one. Two, the infrastructure is very important. And as I said, when I learned at the KSA-MC that they have removed certain infrastructure, such as retaining walls from the KSA-MC and put it into the National Work Agency. I said, oh my God, I said we have to make a resolution because there's no way you can have local governance and not looking at the infrastructure. What I'm seeing here, I hope that next week we will be able to do another walk again, because we were supposed to finish that side, come to Manley Avenue, Hermitage, look at the line slippage, all right, and then we make it. And then thirdly, we go up to Pitney Place, because all of that overflow, we have increased the collection of water, storm water, from Mona and the university. And we have put it around there. So if we have put it around there, then well, I have written, and I'm sure that Minister Williams, as she said, she said she must have written, because it is only natural. After this kind of rainfall, you must have that response. But I personally have written to the CEO and the mayor that what which I have to do to get the minister to act. And we had our public meeting, and their representative said that they are already complete. I saw Hermitage as a part of the communities that they visited. I also saw Bedford Gardens and other areas in the division that they visited. They are known, but they said by Friday, not this week, the other Friday, they show that they will be fogging. All right?
I've been saying that as a concern for some time now. Based on the status of the community and the overflow that has been redirected, they must know that with any and heavy rainfall, you don't cancel like this is I beg you, please. Why I asked Mr. Williams in a meeting, the university used to also assist in the fogging because of air sewage. Why have they seized?
Well, so far I've been gathering some information. I want a meeting with Dr. Burke because there are some inspections that we need to do. Because even the citizens at Silver Drive and Malvern complain about the mosquitoes from the university aspect and the low maintenance of the area, and therefore it's a concern. My office will be writing to Dr. Burke and see if we can have a meeting, and then we will take it from there, so that we want to make sure that we want to work along with everyone without fighting to work together, right? We want to know that we are all in this thing together. We have one goal, to make sure that the people get the best service that is available.
Exactly.
It's not about infrastructure. Sorry, it's just one controversy. And for some time I have been asking about the fire hydrants in Hermitage. We recently had a fire on Bailey Road.
Yes.
A hydrant was at the bottom of Bailey Road. When some was took it out, and I don't know what is permanent, what's permanent, and not replaced.
Well, good. So therefore, what we need to do, you have a citizen, active citizen association, and therefore some of these things we must bring to the fore, because that is a part of the service that the community must get. You can't have a fire and you don't have no water. You understand me? All right. So therefore, we need to look at those. I have seen where the development comes, and I see where they require fire hydrant that is supposed to be installed. There wasn't installed. I remember having a conversation with the design engineer, and then I said them do something after. All right, but nevertheless, you know, Hermitage, you have to know, and it's not just a small group, everybody has to represent, because we are in this thing together. Your property value means something to everyone. All right, and therefore you have to learn how to represent yourself. So it gives me that energy and that strength to represent you.
All right, so we have been here from 5 o'clock, from 4:30. So if there's no further question, we just have to so wrap up response from our most esteemed SDC, right? and as such, you are now on the floor, Ms. Allen.
Alright, thank you, Mr. Mason. Once again, I want to say thank you to all the citizens of Hermitage and Mr. Mason and the Citizen Association for inviting me to this meeting. Most of you who would have met me or would have seen me in the community or in any of the other communities, you know that I'm an underground person. I like to just hit the ground running. I came into SDC very wide-eyed, very positive about, you know, how I can give up my service and how I can give up myself to not only execute SDC's mandate to build better communities, but also to be a representative of the communities that I am tasked to assist, support, monitor, and to be a voice for those people in the communities and their developmental needs, because one of SDC's main mandate is to assist communities in the participatory governance of their communities, of their environs. And I think that this issue that I have inherited as an officer, I don't know much, I'm learning about it as I go, because as Maurice rightly said, it's a little bit above my pay grade, but as a representative of a commission, but most importantly, as a representative of the community themselves, it's important to me to understand where these issues are coming from, why it is important to the dynamic of the community, because this is what it is about. This is what we're talking about, building communities. Having the citizenry participate in the governance of their community, and that is what Maurice is echoing. I know that he has been back and forth with many entities championing this cause, and I know a lot of persons, a lot of other representatives may feel as if, oh, you know, this is a long-standing issue, and why is it not dead already? Why is this continuing? But for me, in my capacity, I believe this is what building communities is about, right? And he made a very good point. You cannot champion the cause of your community if the community does not have the voice, it does not have the support of the community, right? And as an intermediary between community and government, or community and political representation, or any other invested organization within your community, I can't champion your cause either if it is that the community is not well represented on a level that they can say, this is a change that we want. We are resolute about this change. We want you to listen to us in terms of where we want to see the future of our community to go, and as representatives of the government or organizations that are claiming to support, build, help, whatever the case is, communities like yourself, it is very, very, very important that you are a voice, you're resolute about your decisions, you know what it is or where it is that you want the community to go, so that I can confidently represent you guys, even though I'm representing my organization, and I know that Mr. Mason has grouses with the way that my organization has been dealing with a priority issue of Hermitage. I can safely say that I would like to represent the voice of your community by bringing these issues to my organization, right? Representing the community, but also representing my organization in working out this kind of stalemate, I'd like to call it, right? To see how we can push past these kinds of issues, because that's where development comes from identifying the issues and seeing how we can make the best solution or create the best options for the community to be able to move to the future that they want to move to. So I understand the growths that are in existence to impact change on the level that will get Hermitage to the status that they're hoping to achieve. But I can impact the decision making in my own way by maintaining my integrity and maintaining the integrity of the community by representing what it is that they are saying that they want, not just what it is that I am tasked to take to you, or what it is that my organization would like to see as a standard that exists. But in order to build better communities, as my organization would have stated as a part of their absolute mandate, I have to make sure that I can champion your cause, because the cause is so urgent, it is so blatant, and the community is saying this is what we want, and as their representative I can go and say this is what they want. How can we give them what they want? How can we help them to build their community better than what it was, better than what they're experiencing now, so that they can manifest the future that they want to have? That's my representation in community. So I know you have your beefs and I'm here for it. Don't get me wrong, I'm not one way or the other. I'm about building your community and building it better. And if building a better community for Hermitage is Hermitage achieving community status, I pledge to assist in that effort in the best way that I can in my capacity as a development officer in this space. Maurice, you made a point earlier and I want to just piggyback on the point, right? The point that you made was that the same criteria that would have established you guys or removed you guys from community status is the same criteria that you can use to re-establish that. And I think it was a really, really good point, and I hope it does not go over everybody's head, because yes, in order to beat the system, you have to understand the system, you have to know the system, right? And it's a very good point. One of my capacity to support you guys is for you to call upon me for these meetings, how to have better engagement as a community, how to improve upon your meetings, how to recruit people. You know, I'm here with the knowledge of building these community groups so that you can have that one voice, so you can be more confident and resolute in the solutions that you're trying to create for the community. So don't be afraid to call upon me to come and speak to you, or that I can find someone to come and speak to you about specific things that are going to help to build your group. Because like you're saying, you want to have this once a month and you want it to be consistent. Consistency is key. And one of the things you want to see is your numbers grow, the representatives from the Hermitage community to grow. And I can help with the capacity development of the group itself, right? So that you guys can have that one voice to speak with, right? So Mr. Mason has my number, I'm sure, on speed dial. So if there are any concerns or anything that you would like me to come and present or address, you can always have him call me. I'll make the time to come.
Thank you. Welcome, Miss. Alright, now citizens, on behalf of the entire members who are not here but share their intent to be here, we just want to say thanks for representing the interests of Hermitage and the absentees. Alright, with that said, we want to say thanks, Ms. Allen, thanks, Councillor. And we, as we say here on behalf of the citizens, we look forward to working with both the councillor and the SDC, especially our Ms. Allen. Alright? Because we are here to develop our community, and our primary goal is to improve on the governance by the people, of the people, for the community. Alright? With that said and all the niceties, we want to keep another meeting a month from now. Let us try and have it once a month, and I will have the discussion with Pastor Pinnock on having access to this facility. Alright? So therefore, with that said, I must say thanks again for coming out, and let us build the partnership stronger and work towards a common goal, which is the development of Hermitage.